Norman Bluhm Metamorphosis is the first museum retrospective to showcase the full scope of Norman Bluhm's prolific career. Installed throughout 2 floors at the Newark Museum of Art, this exhibition charts Bluhm's artistic evolution as it unfolded across 2 continents and more than 50 years. From 1947 to 1998, Bluhm explored the gestural limits of abstract painting while drawing inspiration from art and cultural traditions around the world. We're now entering the museum's special exhibition gallery. This sprawling triptych, titled Eye of Salonika, painted in 1998, is one of the last paintings that Bluhm created. The works assembled here offer a unique opportunity to reconsider Bluhm's creative output and to encounter up close the organic evolution of an artist's life in paint. Bluhm was born in Chicago in 1920. As a teenager, he studied architecture with the modernist architect Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. After serving in the military during World War II, Bluhm gave up architecture and settled in Paris to become a painter. In Paris, Bluhm became fluent in French and took drawing classes while immersing himself in the city and its encyclopedic art museums. He formed friendships with a diverse circle of international artists, including Henri Matisse, Zhao Wuqi, and Joan Mitchell, among others. By the early 1950s, he began distilling the descriptive brushwork of his early scenes of Paris into abstract fields of color. In 1956, Bluhm left Paris and moved to New York City, where he began working on larger canvases and incorporating more visceral, slashing brushstrokes into his compositions. Bluhm's vigorously painted canvases quickly gained the respect of his abstract expressionist peers, and his career flourished. His work was included in prominent exhibitions of new art at major museums, galleries, and international venues. In the 1960s, Bluhm moved between Paris and New York, showing his work at leading galleries and museums on both continents. In a shift from the all-over compositions of the late 50s, Bluhm's 1960s paintings feature sweeping geometric forms and unpainted passages. This brushwork conveys a great sense of velocity and seems to extend into the space beyond the edges of the canvas. By the late 1960s, Bluhm's angular forms evolved again into biomorphic abstract compositions. Working with a more stereotypically feminine palette, he started incorporating the curving lines of the female figure with layers of luminous color. This painting from 1967 is titled Theodora, after the Empress Theodora, a powerful ruler of the Byzantine Empire. Bluhm noted that Theodora was the first large-scale work in which he intentionally referenced the human body. Life drawing was a central part of Bluhm's studio practice. In a process he would return to throughout his career, he regularly made rapid sketches from a live model using a range of media, from acrylic to ink to pastel. During the 1970s, Bluhm's paintings continued to evoke the female body, although abstraction remained central to his practice. These larger-than-life canvases feature scintillating colors and layers of sinuous lines and lush, expressive brushwork. Bluhm titled many of these paintings after historical and fictional female characters, goddesses, queens, nymphs, and other powerful women drawn from myths and legends. Bluhm's love of poetry and literature led him to form friendships with many of the great poets of his generation. He actively collaborated with poets in an improvisational process exploring the interplay of word and image. On this wall are examples from 2 of the series Bluhm created with the American poets Frank O'Hara and John Yao. Bluhm's late paintings are a culmination of all the formal experiments and visual knowledge he gleaned over a lifetime. His curiosity and active engagement with art in all its forms led him to weave into his late paintings a dizzying array of references, including Tibetan mandalas, Russian icons, tapestries, and altarpieces. With its brilliant color and roughly geometric structure, this monumental triptych, titled Persephone, painted in 1995, resembles a Renaissance altarpiece. Freely blending Christian and pagan narratives in the spirit of the Italian Renaissance, Bluhm evokes the Greek goddess Persephone, whose story represents the changing of the four seasons, with a profusion of dancing figures and a sense of pageantry. Bluhm's nearly lifelong practice was to paint at the full extension of his physical body and his creative capacity, always evolving organically. The morphing bodies of Bluhm's late work seem to burst forth from their orderly niches and to celebrate the artist's exuberance for his craft.